I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, to give me the spirit to this video. Let's jump right to it. Luke chapter 21, starting at verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. So each individual in this truth has to take heed of that, man. Okay? Of this world becoming priority. Take good heed, man, on what you're doing day to day, man. Okay? What is taking up your time in this truth? Because we at the point where you got to be able to cut things off to make more time, man, of doing the will, man, of pleasing Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You have to do that. Like it says in Sirach 18, verse 20. Before judgment, examine thyself, okay, and thou shalt find mercy. And that's what we're trying to get, man, that ultimate mercy. Now let's go into the blue letter on overcharged.
Strong's G 925. Baruno. Baruno.
To weigh down, overcharge. Right, so you're being weighed down by the cares of this world, man. Okay, by things of this world. Okay, that's what we have to take heed of, that we're not weighed down by that. Because if you become weighed down by that, then that makes you lukewarm, okay? And ultimately, that makes you cold, meaning nothing, okay? 100% back in the world, waiting for death, basically. So let's read back at Luke chapter 21, verse 34. I'm going to read through 35. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts, your mind, be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. Right. Stop being distracted, man, with things that's not concerning your salvation. Whatever you're doing, okay, whatever you like doing, your own pleasures, man, you got to learn how to do less of it, man, when it comes to serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, so you can be a good soldier, so you can do the things that need to be done, man, to get out of here, period. Verse 35. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Right, man. So we got to be prepared to watch, to be sober, to be single-minded. And that takes cutting things off that are being distracting. And you know what it is, okay? Examine yourselves, all right? From there, let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. And that warreth is a spiritual war, okay? We are in a spiritual war, man. Meaning we got to pay attention as much as possible, or we could get took out, okay? And it says that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Now let's go to entangle in the blue letter.
Strong's G 1707. Impleco. Impleco.
To enweave, of a thing to entangle, involve in. Right, getting too much involved in worldly things, man. Okay, to the point where it starts being offensive to your salvation. Okay, it starts being offensive to the Lord because your mind, your signals of mind is really single on other things. And it's not zoned in on pleasing him, on doing the will. You have to take heed of that. That's why it says take heed back in Luke 21 chapter. Okay, examine yourselves and make sure that whatever's going on in your life, that it's not becoming first. Okay, we know we like to do our things, man. Our pleasures, chill, or whatever you like to do, man. Music, whatever. Okay? Watch sports. All right? But if that's getting into the way of you studying, if that's getting in the way of you being fruitful, then you have to cut it off, because then you become a person that's getting entangled, man. That's getting enweaved, okay, in worldly things in this world. All right? From there, let's go to Mark chapter 4, starting at verse 18. Now, when you read up, this is the parable of the sower. But we're going to start at 18 and get to the point. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things enter in, choke the word, and it become unfruitful. Okay, you don't want to be unfruitful, because whoever is being unfruitful is going to get cast out, man. Okay, you're going to get burned up. You are going to be done away with, man. Now, when you read back at the beginning of verse 19, and the cares of this world, okay, the cares of this world, man. The only way not to fulfill this prophecy is to be single-minded, man. Strive for the masteries, man. Okay? Cut things off, man. You got to be worrying about day in and day out. How can I trim things off to become more fruitful? And you have to examine yourself to be able to figure that out. Otherwise, you're walking around with your chest stuck up because you know some knowledge. That ain't going to do you no good, man. Because Satan is walking around sifting all kinds of men in his truth. All right? From there, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Right, out of darkness into his marvelous light, man. Okay? He called us out of the world, man, and gave us this truth, this light, man, that shines a light in the world, man. We'll walk in light. We understand these prophecies, man. We understand all the things that's about to take place, man. We know why we're here in the first place. I mean, we know some things, man, that the world does not know. So we don't want to be entangled like they are. They're fully entangled. We don't want to be entangled, man. Like I said, you like to have fun, you like to chill, you like to kick back. But hey, man, if that's offending, okay, if that's taken away from you doing what you need to do, you're going to have to cut it off, man, or you're going to have to pay the price. Okay, and the price is your life, man. The price is judgment. Okay? We got the money, so we got to do what's right, man. By Yahweh Shem Shah, period. That should be your mindset. From there, let's go to Romans chapter 12, starting verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. Right, man. You can't be conformed, okay? You start to conform yourself when you're doing too much of something that the world does naturally, like watch football, watch basketball, watch movies, okay? The world does all those things, right? Now, there's nothing wrong watching a movie, but the thing is this. You start to become conformed when you're doing way too much of it, and you putting the Lord in the background, like he don't matter. Like you ain't got work to do, okay? Like you ain't supposed to be feeding the sheep, like he said, if you love me, feed my sheep. Okay, so you got to make way in more ways and more ways and more room to feed, to show that love towards his name, towards Yahweh Shem Shah. Okay? And if you ain't thinking that way, man, it's not good, man. You need to fast, pray, okay, and start to move things around in your life, man. Cut some things off, okay? You're going to gain everything, man. So it ain't going to kill you or hurt you to cut some things off, man. That's not concerning your salvation. Come on now. From there, let's go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 2. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Right, man. Being busy with things on the earth, man. Okay? Outside of what you have to do. Okay? People have to work. You have to pay bills. There's certain things you have to do. You use the world, but you don't abuse the world. Your affection don't need to be more in basketball. Who gonna win the championship? Your affection don't need to be what is Kendrick Lamar's next album. No, man, that shouldn't be your affection. Okay, if you like music, cool. You like to watch sports, cool. But we can't be on the earth overdoing that, man, because that's when you're starting to choke the word within you. Okay, by doing too much of other things, man, on the earth. From there, let's go to 1 John chapter 2, starting at verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right. And you become an enemy, like it says in James chapter 4, verse 4. Okay. If you love the world, you're an enemy to the Most High, man. That's horrible. Okay. That's a horrible lot to be in, to be an enemy of the Most High. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power, man. That's death coming your way. You shouldn't want that. All right. Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Okay? And the world passes away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Right. So do the will, man. Trim time, and don't entangle yourself with this world, man, and doing other things, man. Okay? Trim what you need to trim off. Cut what you need to cut off, man. And do the will so you can abide forever, man. If God be with you, who can be against you, man? That should be your everyday walk. Okay, when you wake up, that should be your everyday walk, man. To know that the Most High is with you. Because why? Because you're serving Him, you're doing the will, and you're finding ways to cut off things to do more. You're abounding. That's what it means to abound, man. You get more sharper. You understand the details of this truth and what you have to do to survive. Okay, to continue to move forward, to continue to truck. So this is an exhortation, man, to stay out of worldly things, man. And the things that we do of the world, okay, do not do too much of it, man. Have a balance, man. Okay, like I said before, we know we like to rest, chill, listen to music, man. But man, be responsible. Be responsible as a servant of Yahweh Bashim Habshai. With that, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Habshai to give me the spirit to do this video. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to you Achamat that is doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.